Thanks for joining, everyone. Today we're going to look at the Nexrad Radar Viewer, just some of the basic gestures and options available, and then also the dual and quad pane, how to use them in the default mode. Now, we'll cover settings and the dual and quad non-default mode a little bit later. So first of all, to get to the single pane, just hit the lightning icon. And I touched on this a little bit in my first video. But if you long press, you get a variety of options. You can change your radar sites and it'll show the 5 closest, actually 6 closest. And then also there's some additional things here, some textual products. You can, if there is a warning polygon, if you have that configured, and I'll show that in a later video, you can, and you long press inside the polygon, you can see the warning text. Show nearest observation, medogram, and radar status message. So let's just show an example of nearest observation. And here it is from Key West to get the standard observation. Okay, so you can single tap to zoom out. You can double tap to zoom in. And of course the standard pan motion, and then you can do the normal like pinch zoom as well. This is, I'm obviously using the emulator on a computer here, but this is how it shows that pinch zoom. And then again, here's your animation, and then your product and your site. So you can hit BYX and it'll bring up the standard Apple mapping interface, and I've got pins for all the different radar sites, including the terminals in the US. Okay, so over on the miscellaneous tab, here's where you can access the quad pane here, and then the dual pane. So let's take a look at the dual pane. So notice by default it's going to keep the zoom and the positioning of the radar in sync. So all of the gestures that I touched on in the single pane you can use here in the dual pane, but it's going to keep both panes in sync. And here's the radar site selection at the right, but obviously since it's dual pane you have 2 product selections here, so let me just change one. We'll change it over to base velocity. There it is. So I mean that's, not much else to it, just dual pane. I'll just show you the quad pane real quick. This is how it's laid out. You can select the 4 different products shown right here, and it's the first one is upper left, upper right, and then lower left and lower right. Now there is an option in settings radar where you can basically disable the synchronizations for the movements in the radar site. So for example, instead of showing one radar site and 4 different products, you could show 4 different radar sites and then whatever products you wanted to, and whenever you did a motion in one of the panes here, it would not affect the other 3. I'll touch on that a little bit later. Okay, thanks for joining.